the Thunder Tuesday night in San Antonio. Comes up here on Christmas Day, ruins Christmas, bah humbug, beats the Thunder by 20. Or I guess the final was by 17 or whatever it was. However, Saturday night, Utah goes to San Antonio and beats the Spurs. So it's not like all of a sudden, Godzilla has emerged on the NBA landscape and nobody can do anything about it. I just think we'll have to see how good San Antonio ends up being. But it is definitely a challenger. The Spurs are definitely a challenger to the Thunder's hopes of repeating in this 2026 season.
Let me throw this at you because I thought as soon as what happened in those losses, that and I'm not saying that it will be. I'm just saying if San Antonio is becomes better than Oklahoma City this year, does Oklahoma City not have to do something? And San Antonio is in great shape money-wise. I mean, Wembanyama is going to be on only a second contract. They got Fox signed through 2030 at $37 million. So they're not going to feel like the Thunder. So the question I'm asking you, we thought, no, the Thunder just got to keep people this and that, and they're in great shape. Does it change, though? What I just said.
I don't necessarily think it changes unless you know exactly what to do. You know what I mean? In other words, let's try something. Like I wouldn't go trading for Giannis or anything like that. If you have a specific thing you might could think of. I don't know what it'd be. Think of a 6'7", 6'8" wing who's really good on defense. Thunder level defender who's just a lot bigger. That would be something I think that would be of interest to them. There aren't many of those guys around.
But it does change the landscape of what we've been thinking, does it not?
Well, I think it means they got to figure it out. The Spurs have done a great job, but like I said, the Spurs have not been other than their games against the Thunder, the Spurs have not been as impressive as the Thunder.
No, but Wembanyama missed a bunch of games.
Yeah, they actually had a great record without him. They were 9-3 without him. And
then what? He only played like 23 minutes against the Thunder. Now, he did wind up starting, like you said, the other night against the Jazz.
Did he start against Utah? I didn't see that. I was wondering when they were going to get him in. I was wondering when they're going to get him in. I just, I think the Thunder, I'm sure the Thunder's been in all kinds of meetings trying to figure out what do we need something to counter this. And it doesn't have to be a new player on the roster. It could be a new technique. It could be, a different defense. It could be an offensive style of attack. It could be different rotations, And they'll use these next two games. They play January 13th, and then I forget when the final game is.
January 13th, they play here.
Yeah, so lots of fascinating games to come. My pals that I listen to on the Hoops Collective, they suggest putting Holmgren on Wemby. Not because they think it's the best strategic move, but as a way to get in Wemby's head. Because he seems to have a burr up his saddle about Chet Holmgren. I don't know why, but he does. And the idea that, he could be thrown off his game. He's been very disciplined offensively in these games. He hasn't shot a bunch of threes. He hasn't tried to take over the game. And when he does that, San Antonio is less effective. Well, let me also say this. Dumb luck has gone against the Thunder in most of these games in terms of foul shots, in terms of random three-point shooting. The Spurs have had inordinate success from the three-point line. The Thunder has been the opposite.
The Thunder got nothing from that last game from Wiggins, Caruso. I mean,
they were 11. They were 11 of 44 from deep. The Thunder was. You're not going to win a lot of games doing that. So they got to play better. There's not any question about that. But it's all interesting. I mean, to me, the league is excited. The NBA is very excited about this because this tells you this is not a coronation. This is not a championship tour they're making the rest of the regular season and the playoffs. The playoffs have a lot more intrigue now than they did 3 weeks ago. A lot more intrigue than they did last week. The Thunder looks beatable, and frankly, before the Spurs uprising, the Thunder looked unbeatable.
The league got love the Knicks. The Knicks went and beat San Antonio in Vegas.
Yeah, they could. The league could go for a New York final, no doubt about it. What I find interesting is this: the Thunder could just, worry itself to death over the Spurs. There's, if the Spurs get on the other side of the bracket, there's no assurance that San Antonio will make the West Finals if they meet up with Houston or Denver or Minnesota or somebody. So I think have you noticed a Minnesota San Antonio game this year? I wonder what it's like when Gobert and Wembanyama match up. I'm serious. I wonder what that's like. I think that'd be fun to watch.
That would be fun to watch. That would be fun.
I don't know what it means, but
yeah. And you're right. Those other teams, Minnesota, Denver, particularly Minnesota, and Houston. I mean, they're good. They're good teams.
If you could sketch out the Western Conference seeds going into the playoffs, what's best case scenario for the Thunder?
Number one, and let Denver and San Antonio go against each other.
Denver, San Antonio, 2 and 3. That's probably right. And then, ideally, Minnesota and the Lakers would be 4 and 5, with Houston falling to 6. But I don't think the Rockets will do that. I think they're too good. But it's, to me, it's just a lot more interesting. It's going to be a lot more hard-earned to win this title. Of course, the playoffs last year were hard-earned to win, and that's the way it ought to be. It's not supposed to be total domination. It's supposed to be difficult.
Playing better right now, the Celtics.
The Celtics are an incredible success story. There were people that said they should just basically tank. And right now, I can't remember if they fell. They were in third in the East. They may have fell to fourth because they lost last night. But, they've done an unbelievable job. And if they could get, 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 in the East, get Tatum back, hey. Of course, they got a great culture. Brad Stevens and those guys have built a great culture and a championship environment.
I got a text from Sam Humphrey. He said, and when you don't guard Wemby with Chet, that takes Caruso off one of their great guards, and he said the guard play would really beat the Thunder in these 3 matchups. That's a
good point, because Caruso's the kind of big wing I'm talking about. That's exactly right. So,
the next year will be on Dagnall. On the 13th, it'll be see what they got. They got to do something different. I mean, with what they got right. They got to do something different. What they're doing isn't working.
Yeah, that I think we'll see that. I think we'll see more of that experimentation. I think we might even see.
How did Hartenstein play in those games?
My memory is he played okay. He was okay. Like I said, they just shot poorly, and they ended up fouling a lot. They got wiped out on the foul line at San Antonio. It was at least 2-1 on the foul shots. It might have been 3-1. I can't remember. Shea didn't get many foul shots, and that's key to the Thunder's success.
Well, and the scary thing is how much they beat him by these last 2 games.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, game 1 in Vegas, 2-point game, Thunder shot it poorly. You thought that's no big deal, but then now they had a big lead. Or at least they had a lead at halftime, not big lead. In San Antonio, they led, I think it was 60-58, and it just got away from them in the second half. But after the first quarter on Christmas Day, it was just, it was just a beatdown. And though Fox, Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, who's really good, by the way. Boy, he's a good ball player. They got a good team, San Antonio. Harrison Barnes is really, he's played over his head.
And they got him paid $17-18 million. They got great card now. He's a free agent this year, but they're going to get better. They got a lot of cap space. They got a lot of money to use.
Yeah, they do. I don't know if they'll spend it on free agency or if they'll just, build it up with their current roster. I don't know what they'll do. But they got a lot of draft picks. They're in great shape. I mean, listen, the league
is Wembanyama's health, obviously.
Yeah, and that's the wild card, right? I mean, a 7'5" guy is just susceptible. The Thunder sort of lives in fear of that with Chet at 7'1". He's just has missed all of his rookie year, good chunk of last year. So just guys that big and that spindly tend to get hurt more, and you just don't know. And Wembanyama has some history of some reoccurring stuff with some of the injuries.
How did J-Dub play in those games? Santa Clara Williams.
He has not played spectacular at any point. I don't think he's not. I don't think he's himself yet. Okay. I think he's still getting adjusted. He's still making incredible plays. He made some yesterday against the Sixers. But he still doesn't seem completely in the flow. He still doesn't seem in great shape in terms of cohesiveness and getting back in rhythm. His shooting's been okay, but not great. So I think that's a way for the Thunder to improve. I really do. So we'll see. Hey, it's time for a break. It's time for an OG&E break. Make your bill more manageable with OG&E's average monthly billing. Visit OG&E.com. I'm at Boomer Kia. I'll be here till 6 o'clock. Come by and see us. I-240 between Santa Fe and Walker. Got over 200 new Kias to choose from. Come see James Wade. He'll get you into the new Kia that you want. Check out the Tellurides. I've told Al. I was telling him we took our road trip to Alabama. We rented a Telluride. It was fantastic. There were 5 of us. Very comfortable, plenty big, just great experience. Come check out the Tellurides. We'll be back on the animal of the show known as the Dominant Duo.
This is your Oklahoma City Thunder All Access Pass, sponsored by AMCO. Now here's Gideon Hamilton on WWLS, the Sports Animal.
Just 2 games to go in 2025 for OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander says it's important to finish the calendar year strong.
Every game is an opportunity to learn and get better. No matter what it looks like, we try to get those 2 things out of the games, whether it's a win or a loss. Being able to adapt on the fly and come out on the winning side of challenges is a good habit to create.
The Thunder host Atlanta tonight. Tip-off at 7 o'clock.
This has been your Oklahoma City Thunder All Access Pass on your Oklahoma City Thunder flagship station, WWLS, the Sports Animal.
Oklahoma, it's your one last shot to get our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Upside down in an old ride? Oh, more than it's worth? Just $1 down would get you out of any car loan. Yes, just $1 down. Stuck in a high car payment? Just $1 would put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge with a lower payment, new ride, lower payments, and no payments for six months. One last shot. Oklahoma at our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. If you owe more than your car is worth, don't miss this sale. Just $1 could get you out of any loan and put you into a new Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge. Possibly even with a lower car payment. Tag, title, and tax included. $1 down. It's your one last shot. Oklahoma, hurry. The sale ends New Year's Day. One location only. David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Across from Tinker in Midwest City. No payments for 6 months with Dash Financial. Deal retains all rebates.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Oh, man, football season is coming down to it, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. And with Underdog Unwrapped, you'll unwrap tons of promos all throughout the holidays. They've got boosts, gimme picks, deal reveals, and even some surprises sprinkled in. Now is the best time to get in the game. You can make picks and win money right now in Oklahoma. Playing Underdog is super easy. You just pick whether your player is going to go higher or lower the stats, like touchdowns, receptions, and more. And if you get your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Download the Underdog app and use this promo code WWLS to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's using the promo code WWLS. Underdog, make picks and win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Oklahoma. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
On my last trip to Oklahoma, I talked with students and teachers, and I learned the people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas have contributed over $2.2 billion to education. That's billion with a B, making them the largest supporter of education in this state, with millions more donated for classroom materials, scholarships, hosting STEM nights, and awarding outstanding teachers. See the impact of all that investment at oerb.com/micro.
Hey, you want a great lock of the week from me? Then you need to go see the guys over at T&W Tire. They got the best customer service from any of the many locations in Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Kansas, and Louisiana. And if you're in Oklahoma City and need an oil change or work done on your vehicle, do like me. Go see Luke and the gang. Just tell him you want the WWLS deal. Now, that's what I call a guaranteed lock of the week if I've ever heard of one. T&W Tire offers 24-hour roadside service and a variety of other services to get your vehicle back on the road where it belongs.
Keep your workspace running efficiently and comfortably with Chapel Supply. Our Raptor Blast radiant heaters, diesel or kerosene, deliver powerful, targeted heat exactly where you need it. With advanced thermostat control for precision and safety, you'll stay productive without compromise. When it comes to reliable heating solutions, trust the experts at Chapel Supply. Visit chapelsupply.com today and heat your workspace the smart way, because efficiency matters. Chapel supplies you.
Parker Brothers Roofing. Call them and tell them Kale sent you, and it might save you some money. Google Parker Brothers Roofing or call 741-6252.
Fix it fast and save the day. Triple Play.
The College Bowl season continues with the Valero Alamo Bowl from San Antonio Tuesday night, featuring USC and TCU. Coverage begins at 8 o'clock on ESPN 640 AM and 98.1 FM. Also streaming on the sportsanimal.com and the Sports Animal mobile app.
And now, more total dominance.
Dominant.
On 98.1 FM, WWLS, the Sports Animal.
We're back. Perry Trammell sitting in for Jim Traber out at Boomer Kia on the south side, I-240. I'm joined by Al Eschbeck in the show known as The Total
Dominance
Hour.
What about you, too?
Did we lose Al?
You got me?
We lost Al.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there we are. There we go, Al. I lost you for a second.
Okay. Are you a big Penn State fan now?
I am a big Penn State fan, yes. I told him, I said, many years, many decades of being anti-Penn State, I have crossed the river. Let's go Nittanies.
Great
We
hire
are
it was.
Penn State. There are two schools that are total messes.
Just
One
a
with
great hire.
job search. Listen, that's who they should have just started with. Penn State.
You're right.
Well, when you
That's
just start with
exactly
Matt
right.
Campbell. When
Yeah.
they hired Matt Campbell, I said, you could get Matt Campbell. Why didn't you get him to start with and quit doing all this other stuff? Yeah, it's a fantastic hire. And I thought Michigan ended up in decent shape with Kyle Whittingham.
I agree.
That's what
I
need
like that.
They
hire.
need
It's
an
a good,
adult.
solid
Michigan needs an
hire.
adult. They need an adult.
Yeah.
It's dang, Animal House up there, athletic department. So,
Boy, that. How about that? Yeah, when that happened, I was just shocked with the Sharon Moore thing. That is just unbelievable.
I was talking to Sam earlier, and we talked about this maybe when this happened a couple weeks ago. It's impossible, or almost impossible, to come up with a college football story that is so outrageous that it's hard to believe. So many crazy things happen, you just think, well, that's just the way it goes. Anything's possible. But when you heard that story, that Sharon Moore was fired for an improper relationship, and then by the end of the day, he's in jail because of, harassment, it boggled the imagination. How could that even be? How could Michigan have a football coach? I don't know how Piedmont High School could have a football coach doing this kind of stuff. How could the University of Michigan have a football coach doing this kind of stuff? That people on some level knew something was going on that shouldn't be going on. I'm totally mystified how this could even be possible.
Well, and for years that's been a program of stability. I mean, when Schembechler was there, I mean with Harbaugh and all the Spygate and all that stuff going on with him.
Well, the Spygate and the offensive coordinator who's downloading sensitive information of students and getting all kinds of photos and whatnot, and then the whole thing's just what? It's not even believable almost. So who knows? I don't know. It's a mess. Kyle Whittingham's the guy that I think can bring him stability and get it straightened up. Now it may consume him, it may eat him up, and he may end up going.
And Matt
18
Campbell
and
seems like a
18
Penn State type of guy. Does he not?
Oh, Matt Campbell's great. Oh, he'll be great.
Yeah.
He'll be great at Penn State, for crying out loud. Now, he's off to a bad start because they got no recruiting. He gets hired in 2 weeks after signing day, and has to
You got the portal that starts this week.
Yeah.
So,
and I think he'll get his quarterback.
Friday,
I think he'll
runs
get his
for
quarterback.
14 days.
Yeah, I think he'll get his quarterback. I think Rocco Beck is going to go to Penn State, and he'll be a good quarterback for the Nittanies. And
I'm not. If they got Brock Betts at quarterback, that didn't bode well for them.
Now, say that again.
I don't like him. I think he's a.
You don't like Rocco Beck?
He's average at best. And I
thought he was really good last year, and he wasn't as good this year. I think he was hurt. I think he played hurt all season.
Well, you're right there. If he played like he did a year ago, yeah. If he played like he did this year, they got problems.
Yeah, I think he was hurt most this year. I don't know what's going on there, but But I like that hire. That was very good, and we'll see if it can sustain itself. But Matt Campbell.
Well, and Liz, what did you think of the exclusion of Notre Dame? Were you surprised? And we said we were right.
Surprised.
Miami should have gotten there ahead of them because Miami beat them head to head.
I was surprised because they kept putting them ahead of Miami. But you know what? To me, it showed some unseriousness about the committee. It sounded like they were just fooling around for several weeks. You know, let's get together and have some fun and talk some football, and whatever we decide, we'll decide. And then it sounded like they sobered up for the final weekend. That's the only thing I can come up with. Because you didn't have – you're really placing all of your credibility onto the eye test because Notre Dame's resume just wasn't much. They played 3 really good teams and beat one of them, and the 2 great teams or really good team they lost to. And the response for a lot of people was, yeah, but that was early in the year. They played a lot better after that. Yeah, after they played the best teams they were on their schedule, they played a lot better. To me, that's not an endorsement. So I did not think Notre Dame, with the current alignment, with the protocols that were presented, I didn't think Notre Dame deserved a spot. And I thought Notre Dame's response, Notre Dame media's response, the university's response was very low class, and I thought it was below Notre Dame Stanford's.
Agree, 1,000,000%.
I have a lot of respect for Notre Dame, always have. After I went there, I had more respect. I sort of pull for them. I like a lot of things they stand for. I think they stand for a lot of the right things. I love Marcus Freeman. I like the fact that they say we don't want to be in a conference, and we're not going to. But I did not like that response, and I feel for them because they were led astray by putting. They put too much stock in those early polls, or all the polls before the final one, by the committee, and you can't trust the committee. But in the end, the committee got it right. Miami deserved to be ahead of Notre Dame. So,
by the way, what do you think of your boy Lincoln Riley blaming Notre Dame for the end of the USC Notre Dame series?
Well, both sides are at fault. We should have talked about that today. Yeah, Riley today down in San Antonio at his press conference, he said Notre Dame, when there was talk the series might end, Notre Dame said, we'll play you anytime, anywhere. And USC said, okay, we want to play earlier in the year. Now, I think that's a silly stance. We want to play you earlier in the year. I don't know why you can't play in L.A. every other year on the last Saturday. I don't know why you can't. That's really irrelevant to anything. But if that's what you want to do and you feel like it's important, I think it's up to Notre Dame to counter that. And Notre Dame said, no, we're not going to do that. And so both sides are at fault. Generally speaking, when a series like this, whether it's Bedlam, A&M Texas, Missouri Kansas, backyard brawl, holy war, we've had a lot of examples. When a series like this ends, it's generally both sides' fault. So I find that unfortunate, but that's just the times in which we live. Hey, it's time for an OG&E break. Make your bill more manageable with OG&E's average monthly billing. Visit OG&E.com. I'm at Boomer Kia here on the south side, I-240, between Santa Fe and Walker. Come by and see us. It's the end-of-year sales event. Discounts up to $6,000 off Sorrentos. 0% financing for 72 months. No payments for 6 months. Come by, check out the Kias, say hello. I'll be here until 6 o'clock at Boomer Kia. We'll be back on the show known as the Total
Dominance
Hour.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are heating up the NBA.
Lays it in. Oh, what a maneuver by Jalen Williams.
And what a start to the 2025-26 season.
Shea now giving it 8 to shoot. Steps back, fires, angle right, rainbow three is on the way. It's a senior Thunder money ball.
Every game, at home and on the road, is on right here. Plus, in-depth analysis from the Thunder Radio Network hosts, Gideon Hamilton and Matt Ravis, to the Morning Animals, and more NBA coverage throughout the week.
Hey, Thunder fans, this is Bruce Barnes, Casey Wallace, Isaiah Hartenstein.
This is Mark Daignault, and your home for Thunder basketball is WWLS, the sports animal.
Oklahoma, it's your one last shot to get our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Upside down in an old ride? Oh, more than it's worth? Just $1 down could get you out of any car loan. Yes, just $1 down. Stuck in a high car payment? Just $1 could put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge with a lower payment. New ride, lower payments, and no payments for 6 months. One last shot, Oklahoma, at our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. If you owe more than your car is worth, don't miss this sale. Just $1 could get you out of any loan and put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge, possibly even with a lower car payment. Tag, title, and tax included. $1 down. It's your one last shot. Oklahoma, hurry. The sale ends New Year's Day. One location only. David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge, across from Tinker in Midwest City. No payments for 6 months with Dash Financial. Deal retains all rebates.
Ring in the new year at Fire Lake Casino. Celebrate and play for your chance to win one of 4 $2026 hot seats. That's 2,000 $26 hot seat drawings every hour from 9 p.m. to midnight. Take a break at the Center Bar and catch all the college, pro, football, and basketball games with a tasty beverage or your favorite dish from the bistro. Your jackpot's waiting at the hometown original Fire Lake Casino, 41-170 Hardesty Road in Shawnee.
Say goodbye to nerve pain this year with Nerve Renewal.
What I'm most grateful to leave behind is the pain and the numbness and the inability to do the things that I'm looking forward to carrying on with my life and doing the things that I always want to do and like to do and not worry about, am I going to fall down or my feet going to hurt or is my leg going to get numb again? That's all past me.
Start your journey to a new year, a new you with less pain.
If you're experiencing discomfort, burning sensations, or numbness in your feet, legs, hands, or arms, it could be a sign of neuropathy. Take the first step toward relief and schedule a consultation with Nerve Renewal today. Our treatments are covered by Medicare, Medicaid, VA, and most insurance plans. Feel better in just a few short weeks. With 10 convenient locations across the state, relief is closer than you think. Call 405-674-4949 or visit nerverenewalnow.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start January 7th. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes while giving you a head start on 2026. Earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This New Year's Eve, ring in the riches at Lucky Star Casino. From 2 p.m. to 11 p.m., one winner every hour will score $226 in free play. And at midnight, we're turning up the excitement. One name will be drawn to win $2,026 in cash. Make your midnight moment count. Come and get your luck at Lucky Star Casino.
Oklahoma, it's your one last shot to get our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Upside down in an old ride? Oh, more than it's worth? Just $1 down could get you out of any car loan. Yes, just $1 down. Stuck in a high car payment, just $1. Could put you into a new Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge with a lower payment. New ride, lower payments, and no payments for 6 months. One last shot. Oklahoma at our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. If you owe more than your car is worth, don't miss this sale. Just $1 could get you out of any loan and put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge, possibly even with a lower car payment. Tag, title, and tax included. $1 down. It's your one last shot. Oklahoma, hurry. The sale ends New Year's Day. One location only. David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Across from Tinker in Midwest City. No payments for 6 months with Dash Financial. Deal retains all rebates.
Broadcasting sponsored by Parrish Devon, official personal injury lawyers of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Visit pepperwinds.com. WWLS FM, The Village, Oklahoma City, the sports animal, a Cumulus station. And now, more total dominance. Dominance? On 98.1 FM, WWLS, the sports animal.
And we are back. Barry Trammell sitting in for Jim Traber. I'm at Boomer Kia on I-240 between Santa Fe and Walker. Come by and see us. And this show is known as the Total
Dominance
Hour. Dean, how you doing?
Does that mean that Al is in the hinterlands?
Well, you know what? We were talking just a minute ago, so I don't know what. Maybe he's back. I think he's booking another flight overseas. I think he's been in the. I think he's been on the mainland long enough. Is my guess. I guess
he's getting lonely, is what that means.
Yeah. Well, Dean? Were you pleased with the Thunder's comeback yesterday? Life returned to normal. 20-point wins. Shea sits out the fourth quarter. Victor Wembanyama is in a different part of the country. I mean, seemed like different. Were you pleased that they sort of got back on track?
Well, I was pleased once they did that. I thought they turned up the heat at halftime. I don't know what the do good conversation was at halftime or any adjustments. It seemed like they were just different in the second half, and all of a sudden you had Maxey, who was just looking phenomenal, become a no-show. So that was really big. The first half didn't do much for me as I kind of look around and go, wow. And then, I mean, because that's not a great team they played. A couple of takes though. AJ Mitchell is, and I'm not saying because he didn't play, they got beat by San Antonio. They have bigger problems with San Antonio than missing A.J. Mitchell. But he's a guy that I throw into the Warrior mentality right now. I think he is a guy you can rely on to be really smart, to be proactive, be aggressive, but be smart with it. And I think that he could help in that game and can help them on down the road more than I would have ever expected. And, Barry, you may have been there and gone to post game. I don't know. I listened to everything before the game and watched it and wasn't listening to what they were talking about Chet getting all those minutes and having those numbers. I assume that was in response to some poor games against Wemby and building his confidence and getting him more active. Any news or comment on that?
Yeah, no, I think it was a great game. Yeah, Al, how you doing, Al?
Hello.
Al's back with us.
Yes.
Hello, Al.
Merry Christmas, Dean.
Hey, thanks, Al. You too.
Thank you. Well, I mean, you're a wonderful person. I mean, we said, Barry and I told that said, Oklahoma City, when they play them again, they got to do different things. Right? Don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, they've got to have an attack for Wemby in the paint because he just turned Oklahoma City's biggest strength into a liability. I never thought I would see the entire team become somewhat intimidated by him and float those shots up that had no chance of going in. You get guys almost throw. I mean, who was it? Almost airballed a free throw. I mean, guys couldn't do anything. I was just stunned with how they played in that game. So yeah, we were just talking a little bit about that. And Al, I don't know
with the State. The Cameron kid at Auburn going into the portal now, wide receiver. So for OU and OSU, these next 2 weeks are vital in football.
Yeah. Well, if Oklahoma is able to snag a receiver as good as Cam Coleman into an offense that was somewhat a laughingstock, at least of the really good playoff caliber type, in that 20-team circle of teams that were considering them to be kind of playoff worthy. Oklahoma was kind of dead last in that. So if Oklahoma can figure a way to go get a player that good and pay him what he will require to come to what this offense did this year, that would be the surprise of the decade to me. And I hope it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I just,
go ahead, Barry.
It's got to cost a bunch of money to get a Cam Coleman, though. I mean, that could be a budget buster. Getting a guy like that, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
well, they got the tight end from Florida coming in this week. He's a 6'7", 240-pounder, so he's coming in this week in the visit. So they got to get another wide receiver. They got to get a tight end wide receiver, maybe another linebacker. What about guys? How many of the North Texas guys are going to wind up at Oklahoma State?
I don't know, but that's a real question because, the caliber of ball, I mean, give them all the credit in the world. I think they hired the right guy. I think he did a marvelous job, and Mestamaker, fit right into that system and was just truly remarkable. But, that is a level of ball that is markedly below what he will see, whether it's the Big 12, SEC, or Oregon, or someone gets him in a Big 10 situation. I was impressed with what I saw at Mestamaker, but really a lean, slender guy, looked like a winner to me and has a lot of growing to do. So if you can be that good without as much experience, I guess the upside's really big. But how does OSU compete if Oregon is really going to throw out those bucks?
It's a great question, Dean. I had Brett Vito on my show earlier today.
Yeah.
He's the longtime writer down at Denton, the Record Chronicle. And I asked him that question. I said, OSU probably can't win a bidding war with Oregon. What's your feel? And he said, I got no inside information. He said, if I'm a Mestamaker, I would think long and hard about not going with Eric Morris because Morris had done so much for his career, had done so much just in developing the guy. Now, in 2 years, this is a guy that never quarterbacked a high school varsity game, and he shows up. By the end of his true freshman year, he's thrown for 385 yards in a bowl game, then has the monster year this season. He said, I would think twice about severing that relationship because it's been so fruitful for his football career.
Okay, I didn't understand the first time you said that. I didn't quite. I thought you said the opposite. So yeah, stick with him.
He thought sticking with Morris would be the way to go for Mestamaker. Now, if Oregon offers him $3 million a year, all of a sudden the world looks different. So who knows?
And then on the flip side, I agree with what you said. Now, what Morris has done. But on the flip side, look at Oregon. They're throwing all these quarterbacks into the NFL.
Yeah. Well, it's not like Oregon can't coach a quarterback either.
Yeah, but although they're not developing them, I mean, they're coming ready-made.
Well, that's the same with that. He'd be ready-made, too.
I don't think Mestamaker's ready-made.
Barry, I'll put it this way. I said the same thing about Cam Coleman coming to Oklahoma, that it would be the surprise of the decade. If this happens, if OSU is able to pull this off and get Mestamaker, that would just be I mean, to me, the odds are not with them. That would be a major big league statement for them. I mean, big league.
I'm with you, yeah. And we don't know the numbers.
I would say the odds are against it.
I saw today, what service, they had, OSU had 43 players in the portal.
Yeah, the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said that's not necessarily a bad thing, is what I said.
You think about the portal. Look at Dion. It worked well for Dion, but it's happened every year, and that's going to get you an F. That's going to be a failed situation every year. Everybody's bailing out on Dion up there.
Yeah, but here's the thing about OSU. OSU underwent a massive roster overhaul last season and spent a lot of money on a team that was not capable of competing at even a decent level in the Big 12. And which means you got to start over. And if you got to start over, you got to start over. And next year, hopefully, it's not this way. But it's got to happen this year. If it doesn't happen this year, they're going to go 0-9 in the Big 12 again.
Yeah.
So that's your option. I don't know what other option you would have other than just say we just got to do it. We just got to do it.
Well, the $64,000 question to me is there has been a lot of talk among the money people at OSU about getting behind Morris and just having a come to Jesus talk of, hey, the only way we're going to do this is to get in the game. What is that ultimately going to be? If it's enough to bring in Mestamaker and go out and get other guys, then all of a sudden you are in the game. And if it's not, then you're not. But it'll probably be somewhere in between.
Yeah, probably so. And what I believe is I think OSU probably has a budget, and we'll have to stick to that budget. And at some point, they'll have to say, sorry, we can't afford that if it gets into the ridiculous range. Because they don't have $40 million to spend. It's not an unlimited salary bucket from that they can draw from. Whatever the number is, it's 18, whether it's 24, I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, $1 million, they gotta work with that. And at some point, you just fall out of that bidding and do something else.
Well,
let me interject something here real quick. I talked with a man with a whole lot of money recently. A whole lot of money.
Al Smith.
And no.
Barry Switzer.
Yeah.
Can I keep on guessing?
No, he's talking guys with billions in the state. And he's saying that he's saying that, he's surprised that so far OU and OSU haven't been able to get the one guy, the Cody down at Texas Tech, for example, although his is silly money. But you hear what I'm saying is that there is a pocket full of billionaires, a small pocket full, and you have to have one. And as our discussion went, it was like, what I would do if I were those guys when this new AD comes in or tomorrow, I would hire the slickest salesman in the world, the greatest guy. I won't even get into politics, but there are some people who are just incredible at what they do. I would find the greatest salesman, deal maker, personality that could go out and shake down a billionaire and get him to help basically solve your problem.
Here's
people
the thing.
Don't want to put it into college football players around here. They just don't want to do it.
Here's the thing Barry alluded to. With OSU's going to have a budget. Since they got to replace a whole team, it'd be tough to spend a ton of money on one player.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So, well, they've got to be willing to do whatever it takes. Barry, if they have, let's pick a number. Let's say they have $15 million to spend. If you're saying that, no, that kind of goes over that's too much money for a quarterback. If they truly believe this is the guy, which I would think they would with this head coach, I would say pony up what you have to pony up for that position.
It just depends on how the money works. If you got $15 million and you got to spend $3 million of it on a quarterback,
I'd do it.
I don't know.
In this case,
they got so much they got to fill. I mean, you got to protect him. You got to play defense. You got to have pass catchers.
If you get a guy like this, you're gonna attract others.
You know what I love?
Sitting here tell you. Go ahead, Al.
I don't know what you got. What Shane Beamer said. It projected to keep Sellers and the great defense at $4 million, and Beamer goes, "No, you're way off," saying it wasn't near that much.
On the $4
million for both of them, for a total of $4 million for them.
Well,
so you're saying some of these are overstated? Is some?
Yes, yeah. Beamer said, it's ridiculous. No, it wasn't that much to keep not near it.
I don't know Shane's situation. I just know that the things that I read and the people that I've said is that last year it was $1.5 million for proven starters, and this year quarterbacks are expecting $3 to $4 million.
And I think that's agent talk. I really do.
Yeah, all right. That's ESPN and The Athletic and others writing that.
What do you think Mateer got last year?
I don't know if it was a 1 or 2 year deal. I still don't know. That's
I don't know either.
You know who has not gone into the portal? You sitting down?
Michael Hawkins?
Jade Knott.
Well, he's out of eligibility, isn't he?
No, he has a year left. Does he not?
I don't think he's got a year left. I think he's out.
Check it, Barry. Check and see how long. He didn't go out for senior day or nothing.
Is that supposed to get me excited?
No, I thought it was funny. No, you're right about Hawkins, Dean. I think he's waiting for Mateer to make
no, I didn't say
right?
Hawkins. That was Barry saying that. No, I thought it was funny.
No, but you're right about Hawkins.
No, I didn't say that about Hawkins. I hadn't said a word.
Unless Ott finds a wrinkle, he's played 4 years of more than 4 games.
Did he not redshirt last year?
No, he played 10 games last year.
Didn't he? Oh, did he? Okay.
10 games.
Then maybe he's out of it. I don't know what I'm talking about, okay?
12, 10, and 7. Yeah, I think he's out of eligibility.
Has anybody surprised you that has gone into the portal from OU? Did McKenzie surprise you?
No.
It surprised me. I wasn't ready for it, but it makes some sense, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I think the chances of Kip Lewis returning are good. I know that I've said this, that of the priorities besides Mateer, those 3 offensive linemen are humongous. I mean, humongous. 2 of them in particular.
Well, and the 2, Jaden Jackson and Stone, obviously.
Oh, my God.
Defense.
Oh, my God.
And
what a transition Stone has made, guys. Can you believe that? From him almost leave. Remember, he came out and said that he was transferring. It was one day. He was hitting the portal.
Entered the portal, yep.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, my God. You know, this is an immature kid. Everything I heard from the OU insiders, inside people, was that he was immature, da-da-da-da-da. And so he goes from that to what he did this year. That was sensational. There's no reason to believe that he can't improve almost that much next year.
Hey, by the way, in for Blaine Brown, Lincoln Riley's brother has been fired at Clemson as offensive coordinator.
Really?
Lincoln's blaming it on Notre Dame, isn't he?
Yeah, blame Notre Dame for this, Lincoln. Hey, Dean, you worked for ABC. You did USC games in Notre Dame. How sad is the rivalries ended?
Oh, it's horrible. They're just pitiful. Just pitiful. Lincoln, though, says that, Notre Dame not only wouldn't talk about doing it again, but within 5 hours, was it 15 minutes or 5 hours that they came out and already had a deal done with BYU. So they were on that track. But Lincoln was not going to be taking the blame for that, man. He jumped out in front of them. I guess you have to do that if you've lost 3 straight to them and hadn't made the playoffs. Venables beat him to the playoffs is all I know. All I know, guys.
That's a thing of beauty. Hey, Dino, thanks, man.
Okay, Bear, take care.
See you. Talk to you tomorrow.
See you, Dean.
Barry, what's going on at Boomer Kia?
Boomer Kia, the place to be for your new cars. Come by and see us. I'll be here till 6 o'clock. Come by and check out the Kias. Over 200 new Kias to choose from. Come see James Wade. He'll get you fixed up. And I've been telling people, my Alabama road trip, we rented a Telluride. Fantastic experience. Very roomy. There were 5 of us. Weren't the least bit crowded. Excellent trip all the way around. Come to Boomer Kia. Check out the Tellurides.
OG knee break. Check it out. Average billing per month. I do it. It saves you a bunch of money. It's really, really cool. Go to OGknee.com. 98.1 FM. To the Sports Animal. This show has been the Total
Dominance
Hour.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to text them right now.
Drop your takes, comments, and feedback anytime on the Johnny's Charcoal Broiler Text Nation line at 405-900-WWLS. That's 405-900-9957. Join the conversation anytime.
And every single person in here that just typed too small.
With the Johnny's Charcoal Broiler Text Nation line. 405-900-WWLS. Download the Johnny's app for specials on your favorite Johnny's food, rewards, and more.
Fix it fast and save the day. Triple play.
Oklahoma, it's your one last shot to get our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Upside down in an old ride. Oh, more than it's worth. Just $1 down would get you out of any car loan. Yes, just $1 down. Stuck in a high car payment? Just $1 would put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge with a lower payment. New ride, lower payments, and no payments for 6 months. One last shot. Oklahoma at our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. If you owe more than your car is worth, don't miss this sale. Just $1 could get you out of any loan and put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge, possibly even with a lower car payment. Tag, title, and tax included. $1 down. It's your one last shot. Oklahoma, hurry. The sale ends New Year's Day. One location only. David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Across from Tinker in Midwest City. No payments for 6 months with Dash Financial. Deal retains all rebates.
Score or win at Buffalo Wild Wings. Right now, buy $50 in gift cards and get a $10 bonus. Give the gift of wings. Get a little something for yourself. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
This January, it's Bills Be Gone at Kickapoo Casino Hara on Thursdays, January 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. Every 30 minutes from 6 to 9:30 p.m., one guest wins $250 in cash, and at 10 p.m., $500 in cash. Plus, all winners get a finalist spot in our grand prize giveaway. And on January 29th at 10:15, all finalists return for their chance to win $1,000 in cash and get your bills paid up to $1,000 monthly for the rest of the year. It's Kickapoo for the win at Hara, just 30 minutes east of downtown OKC at Highways 102 and 62. Must be 21 to enter and present to win. See Club Kickapoo for full details.
Ice storms can mean unexpected power outages. Keep the electronics in your house safe with a whole home surge protector from Barnett Electrical Heating and Air. Stay powered up and worry-free.
BarnettElectrical.com. It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. Their max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
One day, it's the next day. One day, your tires are... The next day, they're... That means now's the time to come to T&W Tire.
They offer the latest tires and products for all types of vehicles and equipment at a price you can afford. From big rigs to pickups, farm tractors to forklifts, they can take care of all your needs. T&W Tire offers 24-hour road service and a variety of other services to get your vehicle back on the road where it belongs. From Enid to Ardmore, Lawton to Tulsa, Oklahoma City to Elk City, Ada and Lindsay, T&W Tire are proud Michelin dealers. Just stop by and see them today.
According to Merriam-Webster, the word grand means magnificent, stately, majestic, lavish, sumptuous, grandiose, imposing in appearance or impression, sublime, intended to impress. Well, at the Grand Casino Hotel and Resort, we believe all of those definitions apply. From the table games, the Brazilian Steakhouse, the Grand Spa, the Grandstand Sports Bar, to the all-new Grand Food Court, Grand Casino Hotel and Resort will always live up to its name. Have a grand time at the Grand Casino Hotel and Resort in Shawnee. Don't we all deserve the grand treatment? GrandResortOK.com.
Donna from Louisiana. The storm just hit, and we went from donating to the food bank to needing it.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Sports Animal Studios, powered by the OKC Thunder. Level up your holiday gifting at the Thunder Shop. From jerseys to stocking stuffers, we got something for every Thunder fan on your list. Shop now at the official Thunder Shop at Paycon Center or online at okcthunder.com/shop. This is the Oklahoma City Thunder Forecast pregame show, built by the Metal Store, Oklahoma's premier manufacturer of metal roofing and metal buildings in Oklahoma. Now on the Oklahoma City Thunder Radio Network.
The Oklahoma City Thunder's holiday homestand continues tonight as they finish their season series with Atlanta. Welcome into the Metal Store Thunder Forecast. I'm Gideon Hamilton, about an hour and a half away from tip-off, and here to help get us ready for tonight's game, we've got Barry Trammell, who's over at Boomer Kia. Al Leschbach is inside our Sports Animal Studios, and we're soon to be joined by Matt Ravis, who is with the Michelob Ultra team. And Al, haven't been able to talk to you for the last couple of weeks, and some mixed results for the Thunder in the meantime. Who would have anticipated that, as OKC lost 4 of 6 at one stage. They're in a stretch right now where they're playing a bunch of home games. I think 8 of their next 9 are probably going to be against sub-500 competition, and so looking to kind of roar back out in front of everybody.
Well, what you're waiting for January 13th when San Antonio, another meeting with San Antonio, and I think that's what everybody's interested in. That's what people are talking about. So we said all that the first 2 months of the schedule was horrible. And Jim and I, when we went game by game by game, we said, okay, we're going to know a lot more about this team when they play San Antonio twice, one to play them 3, and when they play Minnesota. They will know just how good this team is.
Yeah, Barry, from your perspective, was that the 4 out of 6? That wasn't all San Antonio, obviously. There was a game that they lost with Minnesota that was thrown in there as well. Were some of the things that you saw that Oklahoma City did or didn't do as well as they would have wanted to, was that a Spurs thing? Was that a good team thing? What was that overall? Or were there things that kind of gave you pause earlier on in the season that you thought, hey, if they do this against good teams, they might get bit a little bit? What was it for you?
Well, I think that game 1 in Vegas, I mean, that was just 2 good teams, 1 great team, maybe 2 great teams, and it could have gone either way. And the Thunder lost. I think what happened in San Antonio is the Thunder got a little punched in the mouth and were not, what's the right word? I don't think they were mentally ready, punched in the mouth. I don't mean that they've been soft for a year and a half, but they're just so exalted. They're human. They've heard all the stories about how historic they are, how dominant they are, all those kinds of things. And then all of a sudden, you think, hey, wait, this guy, it's not exactly Buster Douglas hitting Mike Tyson, but it's not sure they were ready for that. And I think they were a little, whatever, you might come up with a better word than me, Gideon. Christmas Day, I think they were a little skittish because I think they thought, you know what, we've lost our cape. What's going on here? And San Antonio was clearly ready to keep pounding on them. In some ways, the 2 games were really sort of the connectivity of one game, just continuation with a long intermission. So I think, I was telling Al and Dean, you just got to figure out, Al has said it, got to figure out new things. And I think getting back in the boat and doing well, they'll have a lot tougher schedule going forward. But, most people around the NBA are not saying the Thunder has been dethroned. They're saying, hey, we got us. So,
there's at least something to talk about, There's at least if there were a series between the two, you can look back and say, hey, remember this, instead of, hey, there's just no chance for anybody to beat these guys.
Right. Yeah, they've gone from they're not indestructible. It's like one of those. It's like every Superman movie you ever saw. If you ever think about Superman, there should be no plot to Superman, right? Should be no plot to Superman.
Stop him out there having fun helping people. Yep.
How could he be? How could there possibly be an opponent for Superman? But every month they put out a comic book that ends up having a pretty good opponent for Superman. So that's what happened. You still would favor the Thunder to win the title, but it's not near as clear-cut, I think, as it was 3 weeks ago.
And, Al, I wanted to get your thoughts on one thing, since we haven't had an opportunity to talk about those Spurs games after the game. And I really don't necessarily have a problem with thinking about, admiring, paying attention to Victor Wembanyama after the game. But when Jalen Williams was asked about the matchup with San Antonio, he kind of simplified it in a way of, well, they have this 7'5" guy that's really tough to go against. And then he eventually got around to the point of what the real issue is against San Antonio, and that's inability to defend multiple ball handlers at the point of attack. That's why they're losing to San Antonio, is because De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle are able to get downhill. They're able to get by their defenders and compromise the defense and make things happen. And so, to me, when I heard that, I thought, okay, I guess that could be an example of, and rightfully so, one individual player being in your head so much that you sort of don't pay as much attention to the rest of the principles that you need to in order to defeat an opponent. So that's kind of what I took away from that.
That's a great point. And obviously Castle and Harper are really young. Fox is 28. He's signed through 2030 for $38 million a year. They got him on a real good contract. No, I think we talk about Wembanyama all the time, and he's a freak. He's a great player. But you brought up, those guards are really good. They've done a great job putting this team together.
So, Barry, before we bring in Matt Ravis here, this was a really exciting first half for the Thunder the other day against the Philadelphia 76ers. I think it was like 57% to 55%. I mean, both teams were shooting the lights out. Oklahoma City was getting downhill. Philadelphia, I thought, had a really poor plan of attack defensively to bring up their big, and it was just lob city for Oklahoma City in that game once they figured out how to approach that. And then eventually Oklahoma City does what they do so frequently in second halves of games, and that's crank up the turnover machine. And it went from a close game at halftime to a runaway.
Yeah, Maxey had an unbelievable. At one point, he was 8 of 9. He may have got to halftime at 8 of 9. I can't remember, but he just couldn't miss. At 23 points. And the Thunder seemed to sober up some on defense and say, we're not going to let Tyrese Maxey beat us. And, that's a funky Sixer team. Paul George is not really Paul George that we remember. Embiid's been, wasn't playing. It's not a great team beyond Maxey. So you shut down him, and they did. He had 3 points second half. One of them came on a technical foul. Somebody got a technical foul. He got to shoot it, and then later he got 2 more foul shots. But yeah, it was the kind of game that I think it was probably pretty good for the Thunder's mental health, because it harkened back to the glorious days before Superman found a villain, which is you win by 20 and Shea sits out the fourth quarter, and they had to think, oh yeah, this is the way it's supposed to go. So, sort of like visualizing, success was probably a good psychological day for the Thunder.
And again, Matt, that really bodes well for what they have coming up the next couple of weeks regarding their schedule. We'll talk about Atlanta coming up here in a little bit, but Atlanta is just on an all-timer, historically bad defensive run here over the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to come up against Houston or Denver to find out, if something is broken or not. You can fix things along the way, and like they say, every game is an opportunity to learn, whether you're in it against a good team or whether you're blowing out a team that you should blow out by 20 or 30.
Yeah, and I think that's important to play the bulk of the regular season that way, especially when the NBA as a whole and in the West as a whole right now is relatively weak. You kind of have to play against your own standard rather than to some of these teams. Like this Atlanta team, I know we'll talk about who they have available, but they shouldn't be any sort of test for the Thunder this evening. They've got some games like that coming up here, and so again, that's just about playing to your own standard and trying to fix some of these things that have been plaguing you. That point of attack defense, now the personnel on these teams will vary, and there will be guys who are easier covers and easier to guard, and teams whose game plan is easier to execute your defense against. But measuring yourself up against these teams is that's kind of the mark of the true regular season. I mean, because it's a marathon, and there is another Spurs game coming up here in pretty short order. I know that'll get a lot of attention in the meantime.
Because Oklahoma City, at least over the last 3 years, is historically incredibly immune to just losing, just having an off game against an opponent that probably shouldn't be in the same neighborhood as them. Almost every single game that is like that, they take care of business. And so that's kind of one of the other things that sets them apart from everybody else in the NBA is that San Antonio can lose at home to Utah every once in a while. We've seen Denver lose at home 4 games in a row. Houston's lost some teams they probably shouldn't have been losing to. So it happens to really everybody but Oklahoma City. Let's go ahead and get to our injury report. This is brought to you by Able Law Firm.
This is the Thunder Injury Report. Sponsored by the Able Law Firm. The personal injury lawyers you can trust to take care of you. Now on the Oklahoma City Thunder Radio Network.
Only change tonight is that Isaiah Hartenstein is out, and what they've been doing with iHeart is they will play him in the game, the tougher game of a back-to-back, and they'll sit him in the easier game of a back-to-back. For Atlanta, they have 3 starters out in this game. Jalen Johnson, Kristaps Porzingis, and Trae Young will all not play tonight. Barry, great to have you on the show. What's going on at Boomer Kia today?
Well, Boomer Kia is a place to be for all your new Kias over here between on I-240 between Santa Fe and Walker Avenue. Over 200 new Kias to choose from. Come see James Wade. He'll get you fixed up. I've been telling the guys, I took that road trip to Alabama.
Yeah.
For the ball game. There were 5 of us. We rented a Telluride, a Kia Telluride, unbelievably roomy, spacious. We had a great trip. Telluride really served us well, so come out and check out the Tellurides at Boomer Kia.
All right, and Matt Ravis is with us, courtesy of the Ultra team today.
Hey, one thing real quick. Glad to see Isaiah Joe on an injury report. And the Hartenstein thing, that's not related to him leaving the game yesterday? You don't think?
It could be.
I hope it's not, because the calf thing worries me.
Yeah, the calf thing, for a while that they've been kind of every other gaming it with him, especially on back-to-back. So I don't know if that's the case or not, but hopefully he's back by New Year's Eve, I would think.
Really appreciate Michelob Ultra because they make it possible to do these pregame shows. You ordinarily were around places before the game, and whether it's in Bricktown or Oklahoma City, you meet so many people in the community, Thunder fans or people who are just business owners and people who work there as well. And really appreciate a chance to do that, and appreciate a chance to tell people about these great places, courtesy of Michelob Ultra.
All right, and coming up next, the first All-Star returns are in. Where are your favorite Thunder players ranked, so to speak? We'll have more to talk about regarding the Atlanta Hawks, including, is Atlanta a potential trade destination for Anthony Davis? We'll get into that when we return. You're listening to the Metal Store Thunder Forecast.
Oklahoma, it's your one last shot to get our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Upside down in an old ride? Oh, more than it's worth? Just $1 down could get you out of any car loan. Yes, just $1 down. Stuck in a high car payment? Just $1 could put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge with a lower payment. New ride, lower payments, and no payments for 6 months. One last shot. Oklahoma at our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. If you owe more than your car is worth, don't miss this sale. Just $1 could get you out of any loan and put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge, possibly even with a lower car payment. Tag, title, and tax included. $1 down. It's your one last shot. Oklahoma, hurry. The sale ends New Year's Day. One location only. David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Across from Tinker in Midwest City. No payments for 6 months with Dash Financial. Deal retains all rebates.
Score or win at Buffalo Wild Wings. Right now, buy $50 in gift cards and get a $10 bonus. Give the gift of wings. Get a little something for yourself. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Hey, it's Jim Traber, and yeah, that sound you just heard, that happened to be me. My wife, Julie, and I were in a pretty bad wreck, as I've talked about before. Out of nowhere, our worlds flipped upside down. I know many of you have been in car accidents, but I was lucky because I knew where to turn and who I could trust to start dealing with the insurance and the injuries we had suffered. I called my good friend J.R. Holmesy. J.R. handled everything. The paperwork, the claim, the back and forth with the insurance, and he got us a settlement that honestly changed everything.
Yeah, Jim, J.R. Holmesy isn't just a name on a big billboard. He's a real guy who fights for real people. JR and his elite team have over 100 years of combined experience in personal injury law, and he's a name you can trust.
Yeah, because after an accident, you need someone on your side that knows the law, and J.R. Holmesy knows the law. Call J.R. Holmesy today, 405-524-1011. That's 405-524-1011. So if you're hurt, don't wait. Call J.R. and tell him Jim and Al sent you.
Parker Brothers Roofing. Call them and tell them Kale sent you, and it might save you some money. Google Parker Brothers Roofing or call 741-6252.
Amco Transmissions of Oklahoma City and Tulsa are hiring experienced automotive technicians. Call any location for additional information.
For total car care, Amco's #1. AA-MCO.
Amco.
Who's gonna win big?
Rainbow that comes down with a pot of gold at the bottom of it, baby.
Sponsored by Lucky Star Casino, home of the most winners and the biggest payouts. Now on the Oklahoma City Thunder Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Metal Store Thunder Forecast. Gideon Hamilton here inside Paycom Center as we get set for the Thunder and the Hawks' final meeting of these two this season. Matt Ravis with Michelob Ultra. Barry Trammell is with us one final time. He's over at Boomer Kia, and the legend Al Eschbach is inside our Sports Animal Studios. Matt, you bested me once again on our Guess the Spread, as I thought this would be closer to 19 tonight, and you were about right with how close it was with the last game against the Sixers. It's 16.5, so just a little bit bigger than it was against Philadelphia the last time around. Hey, the first All-Star returns are in for the Eastern and Western Conference, and we have a couple of guys from the Thunder on this list. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got the 4th most votes of anybody in the Western Conference, and obviously he'll be a starter in that game at some point. And Chet Holmgren was 19th. He was one place ahead of Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi just coincidentally went for 55 points last night, which tied an all-time Los Angeles Clippers career high. So good to see both of those guys in the top 20.
There you go. That's awesome. J-Dub, unfortunately, he's not going to have enough runway, I think, to make this all-star team, and his really more about getting that wrist back to normal anyway. Chet, is kind of flagged lately. There's been some inconsistency in his play. I thought he got off to an all-star start and still has a chance to make an impression. And Gideon, forgive me, this changes every single year. The fan voting isn't all of it, right? There's still an extra component to this.
Yeah, so. You'll still have players and media that are going to have their say in this as well. So and then that is only for the starting 5, and then the coaches fill in the rest. So any of these Thunder players that might make a good impression with the coaching staff, that's all that really matters for them. When it comes to starting, the only guy you really need to worry about is Shai.
I'm still not used to the fact that Denny Avdia is returning more votes than LeBron James. I mean, LeBron's probably not going to be an all-star for the first time since 2005, I think, was the last time he was not an All-Star. So that's going to be strange.
Yep. All right, guys. Barry, what are your thoughts on this Atlanta team? I don't know. It's like 8 of 10, I think, that they've given up 126 or more. And since Trey got back in the lineup, it's been worse. So this is just an Atlanta team that, very much like everybody else in the Eastern Conference, you're not necessarily surprised on any given night if they lose to or beat anybody in the East. But they're so defensively awful that they're probably a little bit of a step below some of their other competition.
This is not, I don't enjoy saying this. It's not popular to say this in this part of the country because we all look upon Trey Young as sort of the hometown hero and one of the great loyal stories of recent times in terms of a kid who did not leave high school. He stayed at Norman North instead of going to one of the prep schools that everybody goes to. Didn't go to Kansas or Kentucky. Stayed at OU and produced a memorable year at OU. But these Hawks are way better without him. They're just proving it. And their defense is so atrocious since Trey's been back. The offense is not as good without him, but the difference in the defense more than makes up for that. And you know, it's just not a good fit anymore in Atlanta. And I don't know if he's going to be traded. I don't know if he's going to hit the free agent market here, you know, whenever. So it's a conundrum for the Hawks. It's a conundrum for Trey because the trade market is not great for high-priced contracts right now, and people aren't really interested in taking them on. So it's bewildering what's going on there, and everyone was excited about Atlanta with their trades and whatnot going in the off season. Porzingis and building around Johnson and all those things, and it's just right now are they 10th in the East, I think, or 9th? I mean, they're not even getting a home play-in game right now, so it's a dilemma for Atlanta.
And Ravis, one of the problems is Porzingis is still dealing with this mystery illness that he's had since he was in Boston, and he's been out for several games now and was out before that as they try to get him healthy again. And first of all, kind of diagnose what's going on with him to get him back out on the floor. But as long as you don't have him, you've got other guys that are kind of in and out of the lineup. It's hard to figure, and I'm going to ask Al about Anthony Davis coming up here in just a little bit. There are enough teams in the NBA, I think, want a point guard that would be interested in Trey Young. It's just the money, like Tram said, that you're going to have a hard time moving off of. And I don't know if there is anybody that you can get on this team to swap for him that changes the balance enough to where they all of a sudden become more competitive. Maybe there is. I don't know.
No, I'm not sure about that. The Porzingis thing, he actually got a diagnosis that I read a couple weeks ago. It was like some disorder of the nervous system, which always makes you. That's something that's incredibly serious, and I know that he's supposed to return soon. But Tram and you both are exactly right about Trey Young. You have to build the team around him defensively. You have to put lockdown defenders around him to try to give you this construct where he's not hurting you there. But then on offense, he basically is the system too, and I think that there's a little bit of an element of whenever he's gone out, the ball has actually moved better on this Hawks team. And so it's kind of weird, the push and pull there with the offense. And with the money that he is making and based on those factors around him, I think it would be really difficult for a team to convince themselves what you're talking about. And then on top of that, giving up something substantial potentially for him, which is what Atlanta would want in return. So that almost makes me think he's going to kind of end up staying put. But I've been surprised by guys before he gets traded.
Al, so Tim McMahon said that the Mavs would like to trade Anthony Davis to Atlanta. They just don't want Trey Young back. They want a couple of their other guys. And so Atlanta is thinking, well, I mean, if we give up a couple of those guys, then even if we have Anthony Davis, we're not going to be that good. What do you think that an Anthony Davis might bring to Atlanta in the near term? Because the East is so painfully average, or most teams below average, that if you're an executive, you don't have to trick yourself too much into thinking, hey, could we beat the Pistons in a series? could we beat the Celtics in a series? That's what a lot of these teams from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even though they know they're not very good, they know everyone else is not very good, and they think they might be a move away from being able to at least beat them.
You better be careful if you make a move and it hurts you long-term wise. If you're trying to do something 1 year ago, we can win it this year, I think that's a massive mistake. I think you're right, though. Gideon, I think some teams are thinking that way. Next year when the Celtics get Tatum back, they're going to be really good. Detroit's going to be better and better. My Knicks are pretty good. So some of these teams, when you're going to say, well, maybe you'll do this, but in the long run, it's going to hurt you. That's why you look at success. San Antonio, Oklahoma City mirror each other the way they do things. They do it the right way.
How weird would it be if there was some kind of Trae Young and Anthony Davis trades with the connective tissue there with Luka and Trae Young? They were tied together. Now Luka and AD were tied together.
True.
But sounds like that may not be the case, that Trae would be involved there.
All right, let's find out who's going to secure the victory tonight.
Who's going to secure the win? Sponsored by Secure Pavement, paving since the 1900s. Visit securepavement.com to learn more.
And Barry, before we let you go, the game pick is kind of irrelevant here. I'm going to throw a point total at you tonight for Oklahoma City that I think that might get action on both sides. And we talked to 126 is kind of the magic number for Atlanta. Opposing teams have exceeded that in 8 of the last 10 games. If I told you 134 tonight for Oklahoma City, do you think Oklahoma City exceeds that number, or maybe they're a little bit below?
I'm going to go below because I think the Thunder wins big, but I think Atlanta doesn't score great tonight. So I think
not as much of a track meet.
Right. I think you're looking at the 120s. Not a dissimilar game from last night, other than I don't think somebody's going to score 23 points in the first half for the Hawks.
All right, Barry, great to have you on the show. Appreciate that.
You bet.
All right, Barry Trammell in with Boomer Kia today. The legend Al Eschbach is sticking around with us. He's inside our Sports Animal Studios. Matt Ravis is hanging out with the Ultra team today, Michelob Ultra, and we're going to come back. We'll talk a little transfer portal as we are close to the eve of that happening later on this week with Al and get his latest there on OU and OSU, and we'll take you inside the paint for tonight's matchup. You're listening to the Metal Store Thunder Forecast.
KWPN, more WWLS, The Village, Oklahoma City, proudly serving the great state of Oklahoma. A Cumulus media station.
Oklahoma, it's your one last shot to get our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Upside down in an old ride? Oh, more than it's worth? Just $1 down could get you out of any car loan. Yes, just $1 down. Stuck in a high car payment? Just $1 could put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge with a lower payment. New ride, lower payments, and no payments for 6 months. But one last shot, Oklahoma, at our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. If you owe more than your car is worth, don't miss this sale. Just $1 could get you out of any loan and put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge, possibly even with a lower car payment. Tag, title, and tax included. $1 down. It's your one last shot. Oklahoma, hurry. The sale ends New Year's Day. One location only. David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Across from Tinker in Midwest City. No payments for 6 months with Dash Financial. Deal retains all rebates.
The elite always work to get better. And at SSM Health Bone and Joint Hospital, we dedicate ourselves to being the best orthopedic surgeons in the country. Committed to helping you, no matter the injury, or where you are across Oklahoma. Visit ssmhealth.com/OSOI to learn more. At SSM Health Bone and Joint Hospital and OSOI, our goal is to make sure you receive exceptional care. And for that reason, Saints march on.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Open enrollment for healthcare coverage has been extended. If you missed the initial 12/15 deadline, you can still purchase coverage up until January 15th. Call Allison Insurance. With over 70 years in the industry, Allison Insurance can help spot problems and avoid common mistakes when purchasing health insurance for individual, employer, group, and Medicare. Visit AllisonInsurance.com. Then call Robert at 800-580-5587 or 745-2968. Allison Insurance. They are the experts.
It's time to go inside the paint for tonight's game.
Don't get caught watching a paint dry.
Sponsored by Boomerang Diner. It all starts here. Visit boomerangdiner.com for a location near you.
And welcome back to the Metal Store Thunder Forecast. Gideon Hamilton, Matt Ravis here inside Paycom Center as we get you set for the Thunder and the Hawks. The conclusion of their season series will be a little bit later on tonight. Matt is in with the Michelob Ultra team, as he always is. Al Eschbach is inside our Sports Animal studio. So, Al, this is still an exciting time for college football. Not only do we have the next round of the playoff games underway, but it's really exciting for those that follow Oklahoma State and Oklahoma and other teams on a daily basis, because we're about to have the opening of the transfer portal window, and we'll know a little bit more about who's staying and who's going for both of these teams.
Well, and why it's more important now than ever been, because there used to be 2 dates for portal.
Yep.
There was one now and then one in spring. This is it. So if you don't get the people you want now, don't satisfy needs now, you could have problems. So it goes from Friday to the 16th, 14-day period, and it is massive.
Who are some of the names that you're keeping an eye on for Oklahoma, or is it more of Oklahoma acquiring talent than perhaps losing talent?
I think right now they have not been hit real hard with defections. Kobe McKenzie, linebacker, he left. They got some offensive linemen that weren't going to start that left. So they've been. It's more to me about acquiring talent right now. It's more, and it's the same with Oklahoma State. I think the whole thing with Oklahoma State, which makes it even crazier to follow, even better to follow, is because the coach you're bringing in has some great players at North Texas. So how many is going to be coming in from that North Texas team that was really, really good? OSU leads the country with 43 players leaving in the portal. So it's going to be a whole new roster in Stillwater next year.
Yeah, no question about that. And, Matt, you'd love for that first domino to fall. That's what Oklahoma State fans are hoping that they see later on this week, with some announcements about maybe some of those more talented and, let's be honest, skill position players coming from North Texas to play at OSU. But there are no guarantees. Again, these kids are talented enough to where they're going to get offers from other schools too.
And then that just automatically creates an environment where you're going to have to pony up a little bit more in constructing the roster. So difficult. Like I remember going last year, look at all these players that Oklahoma State's getting in the transfer portal. Look at them. They're doing work in the portal. Well, it turns out that they didn't evaluate the right players. The players they brought in just didn't fit in the context of their team. Whatever it was, didn't work out extremely well. But you like the context of this new team, especially if you can bring in a Drew Mestemaker at the quarterback. Now, a lot of money numbers flying out there, and not sure what to believe. But you have to believe there's going to be some competition for him, for a guy like Caleb Hawkins. So would they favor maybe offensive continuity and familiarity with the coach over just taking the bottom line? That's up to the players. So being really interested to see how this plays out.
All right, let's go ahead and map the matchup for tonight.
Mapping the matchup. It's time to map out tonight's key matchups, presented by Arcoma Surveying and Mapping, the surveying benchmark for Oklahoma's infrastructure.
I wanted to ask you guys about Monday Night Football, and this feels self-explanatory. The Rams are on the road against Atlanta, but they're still a 7.5 point favorite. Everybody thinks the Rams are going to win, but there's a little bit more weight to this with the 49ers winning the way that they did last night against the Chicago Bears. And that was another tremendous game. We had some great dramatic action in the NFL yesterday. So I don't know if the Rams necessarily are going to feel pressure, but if this result goes kind of wacky, as some NFL results will from time to time, then it has more long-term ramifications.
Ramifications, very nice. I see what you did there. Rams defense seems to be better, allowing 34 to the Lions and then 38 last week in overtime last Thursday to the Seahawks. And the Falcons offense has actually been playing a little bit better as of late. So I'd be curious to see if Stafford also continues his MVP campaign tonight.
And now we've got some great divisional races this year in the NFL that are going to go down to the wire.
Steelers and Ravens. You got the Buccaneers, Carolina. I mean, what else we got? What am I missing?
I think that's it in terms of division, but seeding with some of these other teams that are like neck and neck at the end. Yeah.
That game last night was unbelievable, was it not? That was the most fun pro game I've watched in a while. That was just unbelievable. Ending, they're on the 4-yard line on the last play of the game.
And Caleb Williams looked like he had DJ Moore in the opposite corner of the end zone. In Brock Purdy, I mean, a lot of people always talk about how he's got this all-star team around him, but Trent Williams goes out of that game. They're missing George Kittle. I was impressed with the way Purdy played last night.
Yeah,
he's very accurate.
The Seahawks, Rams, that Niners. That's been a great divisional race this year. The AFC Central turned into a really, really fun race this year as well. So we've had some great NFL action, good to the last couple of weekends here this season. All right, coming up next, we'll be joined by the voice of the Oklahoma City Thunder, Matt Pinto. Will talk about Oklahoma City flipping the switch against the Philadelphia 76ers in their last game and what they'll need to do well to defeat the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Gideon Hamilton and Matt Ravis. Matt is in with Michelob Ultra, and Al Eschbach returns with us. He is inside our Sports Animal Studios, and you're listening to the Metal Store Thunder Forecast.
Oklahoma, it's your one last shot to get our 2 biggest offers of the year at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Upside down in that old ride? Oh, more than it's worth? Just $1 down would get you out of any car loan. Yes, just $1 down. Stuck in a high car payment? Just $1 would put you into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge with a lower payment. New ride, lower payments.